Uh, Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching me from. My name is NTK 2310, and what I do here, I do scrutinize and analyze songs, and to be specific, from Kikuyu song to English song. We like to know what the song talks about. So for the returning subscribers, thank you so much and welcome back. For those that are new, feel at home as well. And let's get on to this journey. I do deal with gospel songs, with Mugidhi songs, which means party songs, and also with political songs. So the songs I've prepared today for you is the political song. It's a very nice song, quite old song. And before we dive in, I would like to say, I, as a Kenyan living in Sweden, and I've lived many years in Germany, today is a very, very sad day for our country, Kenya. Even if we are not living in Kenya, we always follow what's going on back home in our country, Kenya. We saw today the Kenyan police were throwing tear gas to some of our girls, to be specific, Butere Girls High School, as they were to perform one of the great poetry, Echoes of the War. And it's so unfortunate that in Kenya it seems like freedom of expression is no longer there. Why are the politicians afraid? Why is President Ruto, President of Kenya, afraid? Why you don't want to hear the truth? Because all what those girls are telling is exactly the things that has been going on in the country. Is exactly the things that we, the Kenyans, the civilians, are complaining about. Why you don't want to hear the truth? The Butere girls are the whistleblowers. And the song we're going to talk today, it's exactly touching on such issues. So without wasting any time, let me dive in and we hear what the song has today. Just have to switch something here. Just a second. Just have to log in here. So, yes. As I have said, it's a very sad day for Kenyans in Kenya, outside Kenya. It's a sad day. And the world is watching. President Ruto should know that the world is watching. Because you cannot go tear gassing our girls just because they are standing to tell a poetry, telling the truth. Even the times when it was Moi time, the second president of Kenya, who was feared, very much feared, people, students, they were allowed to make poems and all these, Anyway, let's dive in with this beautiful song and we hear what the song has to say. The song says, as I always say, the song says, the Bible says, when the soldiers will ever see a place being into a certain trouble and never have a solution, that soldier will be answerable for the blood. That there we are. Our country, Kenya, is mourning. So many things going wrong. Just like the Bible says, you who is there, you who is a policeman, for example, you're seeing things going wrong and you're quiet. You as a politician, you're seeing things going wrong and you're quiet. You're seeing our people in Kenya being killed and you're quiet. The Bible says, you will be answerable for that blood because you kept quiet. The song continues to say, when I know that, I get afraid. That means we as civilians get afraid when we know that we could be answerable for the blood just because of you remaining quiet, just because of you ignoring. I get afraid because I have seen some trouble. That is why I blow the whistle. Wajiko, be careful. In this case, Wajiko means, hey, our Kenyan people, you have to be careful. Our Kenyan people, there's a reflection. I don't know why there's a reflection there. Our Kenyan people, the song is telling us we need to be careful. We should be afraid to see things going wrong and we are quiet. We as Kenyans, we have to stand firm and strong, just like our Butere girls, just like our Gen Zs. We cannot be quiet anymore. The song continues to say, I will scream, but who will answer me? Blow the whistle. When you see them, the rain is almost raining. The anger of the multitude. So if you see those people who are making the multitude to cry, let us look up and tell God. Let us tell him, there they are. That means we have to look up to God as well and tell him, Lord, there they are. There they are, the corrupt politicians. There they are, the politicians killing us. There they are, the politicians stealing from us, wananchi. There they are, stealing pesa ya umma. The song continues to say, now the country is in danger. If you see them, blow the whistle. The leaders and the followers, once they face each other, if they pass, I have to tell him that the leaders and the followers, we have the Kenyan leaders, and we the followers, we are not together anymore because the leaders have let us down. They have let our Kenyan people down. They've damaged the economy of Kenya. I'm talking about Kenya because that's where I am from. And East or West home is the best. I cry when I see my people crying. It hurts when I see my people being oppressed. It hurts so much to see them having to go through so much pain. It hurts so much to see our Kenyan people when they go to hospitals and there are no medicines in the hospitals. It hurts to see all the politicians boasting around with all the stolen funds while our Kenyan people can't even afford 3 meals a day. It hurts. The song continues to say that now the country is in danger. If you see them, blow the whistle. The leaders and the followers, once they face each other, if they pass, I have to tell him. The song continues to say, the clan of the selfish leaders, if you see them, blow the whistle. They only like themselves. They like it when they are full, while our kids are sleeping hungry, even some vomiting worms. This song is very touching. It is touching for each and every Kenyan. The song continues to say, people who have extra stomachs, blow the whistle if you see them. What does it mean, extra stomachs? It's, for example, in Kenya, the Kenyan politicians, they are known to be very greedy. Almost all of them. I wouldn't say it's all of them, but almost all of them. They're hungry for money. They want more and more and more. They keep on stealing from our people. They never want to stop because they are greedy. If we see them, we as Kenyans, blow the whistle. The song says, first hide children's food because they even will steal children's food. They are greedy like hyenas. We know the story of hyena. To remind you, hyena smelled some meat and it reached a place where the roads was going right and left, and the hyena didn't know which direction to follow. The hyena decided to take both. And as it went, it parted, and of course it died because, hey, the legs can't go all that way for a long time. That is the same way in this song. The Kenyan leaders are like hyenas. They are greedy. They are selfish. They are egoistic. The song says, if you see them, tell God, tell Him, there they are. Kings who can never be told anything, if you see them, also blow a whistle. Let them know. Whoever is never told will never say anything anymore. So if they pass, tell them. They are those leaders. They think that because they have those high positions, they can never listen to the wananchi. They can never listen what the civilians are telling them. They can never hear the cries of the civilians. They ignore the civilians. They think they are untouchable because they go with those big end cars. They live in those big houses. So they think they're untouchable. The song is saying, when you see them, look up to God. Tell Him, there they are. There He is. There she is. For example, at the moment, in our country, Kenya, Kenyans are crying day in, day out. Terrible things are happening. Public funds is being stolen each and every day. Our Kenyan people, they're hardworking, they're not lazy. They've been pushed to the end. That's why our boys and girls in Kenya, they've been pushed to start into businesses like with drugs businesses that around the world. Kenyans are Kenyans. We've been so proud for many years. We are known to be sport. When you go each and every country, you say you are from Kenya. Everybody says, oh, you run very good. Oh, marathon, hey, big Kenya. Now they've changed our country into having bad names of drugs around the world. That our boys and girls, after they finish school, they have nowhere to go, no jobs, no nothing, no money in the pocket. And so they are tricked. They are forced into going to drugs businesses. And we know where that ends. Two places, jail or death. And who are doing this? They are the same selfish, greedy politicians who have high positions. People who think that they can bribe at the airports, different airports, so that those things can pass through. But as we know, a thief has 40 days. There come some airports where those things cannot work, bribing. But what happens? We lose each and every day, our Kenyans. Because some countries, they live according to their rules. Law and order. That you cannot hang around selling drugs because you kill a lot of people. And what happens? Our politicians, because they are greedy, they're just sitting there until our children, wherever they are around the world, when they are gotten, they're imprisoned. That's the time they are coming up and telling us stories. Why they can't make businesses so that there's employment for our children in Kenya, so they don't have to go to suffer out there. They should ask us, we people who left Kenya many years ago, these are not the best countries to live in. Some people would say, why you don't come back? Well, we should know how many of us want to come back home. I wish you know why some of us never want to take our families in these countries, because we have the secrets. We know what goes on in here. Ask us, we will tell you. Someone like me, I've lived now 31 years in these Western countries. Ask me what goes on here. Ask me, would I advise anybody to come in these countries? My answer is capital no, please don't. If you're able to work nicely and if you're able, just stay there and work and get what the life here in the Western countries. I can tell you, some of our people back home in Kenya, they don't want to hear when we tell them that these places are not the best. They think we are lying. Some of them even say, you're jealous. You don't want us to come there. We can tell you something. If you have ears, listen. The life in these Western countries is work, pay taxes, go to work, pay taxes. That is the life here. Taxes and bills. Work, taxes and bills. Work, taxes and bills. Where is the real life? I know some of you, for example, back home in Kenya, when you see some of these places, which sometimes we show in the cities, of course, these European countries or America, they've developed for many years. Remember, many years ago, they used to take slaves, like from Africa, to come and build for them all this. Their roads, their everything. Since years, they were done for many years. That's why we are called the third world countries. But that does not, they made their systems work since many years. And that's why I say, for example, if you're a well-educated person in Africa, in Kenya, in my country, please, I advise you, if you get a job back home in Kenya, please work and stay there. When you come to these Western countries, believe you me, I can tell you, because I've lived in Germany 15 years. I've lived in Sweden 16 years. I can tell you something. Listen to me. If you're well high educated and you think when you come to these Western countries, you're going to get those high jobs, forget it. Forget it. Some of you will say, that's not true. Ask me. I know so many that even they came as doctors, big doctors from Kenya, either to Germany or to Sweden. When they arrived here, shock of their lives. The first thing, they have to go ground zero, starting from there down to learn the language first. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have there in Kenya. You come here, they will tell you, you know what? Go to school first. We cannot let you, even if you are a big doctor, an internist. Internists are those doctors that operate hearts, kidneys, lungs, the inside part of the body, brain, surgeons. You come to these countries, they will tell you, wait a minute, go back to school first. You have to learn the language. You cannot touch any of the patient here in our country without you speaking the language. Go first, learn the language. And it's not an easy thing to do. From there, you have to do the exam in Swedish language. Ask me. Years are still going, okay? Years are still counting. So it means until, if you ever make it, because there are some people who make it until they get the education high, they get all the degrees. Now it's to look for places of work. There's something called, listen to me, you people back home in Kenya and in Africa, there's something called discrimination. It's there. It's here in the countries we're living in. So you, with this color, with all your degrees or whatever, you look for work, and guess what? Maybe you're lucky and you get a place. Then you'll meet something called workmates. Listen my mouth. You will meet something called workmates. Some of those workmates, I won't say it's all of them, they will think because of your color, you don't have that education. Even if you have the documents, they will doubt it. We know so many people that they've learned as doctors or whatever, but when they come to places of work, there's always discrimination. They're not even able to carry their jobs properly because their dignities are lowered down because of their color. It's there. I ask you, my brothers and sisters in Kenya or in Africa, don't think that to come in these Western countries, to do those high dream jobs, that is easy for you as a dark person, as a colored person, as a black person. It's not. The possibility jobs which you'll get like this. Number one, cleaning jobs. Cleaning jobs. And even most of those people in these countries, they think we black people, we are supposed to do cleaning jobs. We are supposed to work with old people. Let me repeat again. Old people. That we, the black people, our work which we can do good. On that one, they don't doubt that we can go and do that, as we call it, health work, but not to be a doctor or a nurse. I actually know here in Sweden, some nurses from Kenya, and in their places of work, they were discriminated. People were ganging against them. Whatever they were saying, they argue with them. It's not that way. Just because a black person, a black nurse is talking about that, it hurts. So I'm here just to open your mind up. I'm here to blow the whistle, to tell you the way things are, because that is the truth. That is the reality. There are even, for example, some people in family members. I thank God I've never faced any discrimination in the family. For me, my husband is Swedish, white. His family, very close to me. I never faced any discrimination. But I know some black people. They face a lot of discrimination because their families don't accept them because of their skin color. They don't want to be seen with them. They even can't be friends on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube, on what they cannot be because other people will see them. Other people will see, oh, so you are in your family, you have a black person. There are. I'm here to open your mind. I'm here to, as a whistleblower as well, as a Kenyan living in Sweden, have lived many years in Germany. I'm here as a whistleblower. Just like for you people back home in Kenya, be whistleblowers of those corrupt leaders that are pulling our country down. We have to be whistleblowers so that the one who have ears can listen. The one who don't want, we cannot force you to listen. For example, I always tell the people, you know what? If you're there and you yourself, you want to come and see what goes on in these countries, well and good, come. But don't say that I never told you or other people never told you. Let's continue on with the song. The song says, I've read there about kings who are never told anything. They can one day they will have no one to talk to. People who have no money with children. People who have no mercy. Mercy, not money, mercy. People who have no mercy with children. If you see them, blow the whistle. Like today, for example, it's such a dark day back home in Kenya. We saw police officers. They throw tear gas on girls, children, school children. It's so sad. We know that the bus stops with the president. All the blames have to go to President Ruto. Our girls cannot be tear gassed and we are quiet. The world watched. We know it. And soon, President Ruto will have nowhere to hide. We thank God for nowadays the internet. That people with cameras, you just have to take a phone, make a video or a photo and send it and the whole world is seeing it. The same moment what's happening. We thank God for that today. Because during Moi time, it was terrible. No news like those would ever reach the world. So we should be happy that all these news are never done in darkness anymore. But still you can see the guts. Even those police officers, they know that they will be exposed. But they don't care. The police officers are supposed to give security for the civilians, wananchi. But instead, we see what they've been doing. The song continues to say, If you see them, blow the whistle. They will be silent while children are dying. Today, we were expecting all the politicians to come out and condemn what was going on. Very few did that. They were quiet. They are silent. Heartbreaking. The song says, they will be silent while their children are dying, while their children are in safe heavens. Safe heavens, it could be in Europe or in their expensive homes, in Bodaiga and all the other expensive places. Their children are there, secured. But the children of the poor, they are out suffering, out being tear gassed, out being killed. If they pass, those kind of leaders, if they pass around, look up, tell God, God, there they are. The song continues to say, people who can never relate to one another, if you see them, blow the whistle. They changed parliament to Babylon. Kenyan government have changed the parliament like Babylon. It is hell. The things they do there, maybe they just think, most important, they talk about how they will add themselves more money, more salaries. They sit down. They arrange, hey, you know what? Who is gonna repack the fake fertilizer so we can sell it? Something you get for free. You want to sell it to 190 to the civilians because of greediness. You've turned the parliament to be Babylon. That's what you've done, just like the song says. The song continues to say, this song is very touching. They change parliament to Babylon. God will discord them. If they pass, tell God, there they are. People who always like fame. Those are the Kenya politicians. They like fame. They want always to be recognized wherever they go. That's why they go with so many cars around them. That's why they take helicopters flying around, because of the fame. They can be told, hey, that one is going with a helicopter. That one lives in that and that and that big villa. That one has this and that businesses. They like fame. If you see those kind of people, blow the whistle. They see poor people like see and so. Monaga adeni tamishuha. Mashuha na adeni. See, so is this game, Some city, and it's going like this. It's called see-so game. They see poor people like see-so. Monaga mudeni awana midhakweo. Mishuha. Akashuha nayo. If they pass, look up and tell God, God, there they are. Those are the ones who are joking with the life of the poor people. They are the ones who are playing around with widows. They are the ones who are playing around with widower. They are the ones who are stealing from us. They are the ones who are punishing the vulnerable. Look up and tell God, God, there they are. Wanjiko, it means our Kenyan people. If you see them coming to your homes, blow the whistle. We know very well that usually the politicians, especially the Kenya politicians, they always come back home when it's election time. That's the time they come. You see them back. Most of them don't even live in their areas where they're chosen. After they're elected, they move either to other places, or even some people from other places, they are brought there to be elected. Some of them are just nominated. They've never lived there. They don't know what people are going through. They don't know the hardship, what people are going through. But during the time when there's election, you see them coming. The song is saying, Wanjiko, Kenyan people, when you see those politicians coming, blow the whistle. You should know they are coming with evil plans. They are coming to bribe you, give you a little bit money, a packet of maize flour and wheat flour and a little bit something there small. Because they want your vote. That's the only reason. They are not coming there because of humanity. They are not coming there because they mind about you. They are not coming there because they care about you or they worry about you. No. They are coming there when you see them because they have plans, evil plans. They want your vote. That's it. The song says, ask them if they come. Ask them, where were you for all those years? Where have you been? What have you been doing? Which work have you been doing? The things you've been promising. What have you done? Our roads. There are so many poor roads around Kenya. So many poor roads. I tell you something. I come from a village in Luakabete. And in my village, I do remember growing up, there used to be one man in my village. We used to call him Bebe. I don't know why, but he used to be called Bebe. He's now late, many years ago. And that man, he used to be in the politics, Kenyan politics. That was during Moi time, many years ago. Guess what that man had done? He was very rich. His home, oh my God, very big story buildings, many different, luxurious home. He even used to have a factory for maize factory, for Udhiamutu grinding, so that you get maize flour. The only one which was there in my village. This man, from his home, a little bit, like maybe you would say, like maybe I would call it around his home area, not the compound, out on the main road, he had made nice road for himself. And then, just like, let's say his home is here, he had made, like, from the main road, the distance of his area, nice road, tarmac road, nice. And when the politicians used to visit him, because he was big guy, right? Very high politicians. That's the only area they could, I don't know what they were thinking, because the other parts used to live for us. We other Lower Kabete people, our area, we could just go there when it's rained with muddy roads. And I was a young girl then, and I used to ask myself, how comes that only his area is tarmacked and nice and clean? The other parts he didn't care. And he was very, 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 very rich. And to my surprise, I saw one of his son during the Uhuru Kenyatta time with Ruto at The Hague. I saw one of the witnesses who was supporting Uhuru Kenyatta, the son of this man, my neighbor. I was shocked. Because in my head, I had memories of a bad leader. And he was the one fighting for them. Wait a minute. 1 and 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. His father was corrupt. So maybe the son is also corrupt. That's the first thing that came in my head. I wondered, whatever he was telling, was it true or not? I don't know. But I still do remember such memories. And it's many, many years ago. Think I'm 50 years old. And I left Kenya when I was 18 and a half. And that was when I was a small girl growing up. So we are talking like maybe when I was from 10 years, because then I could walk from maybe 10 to 17 years, around there. That's the time I used to ask myself all these questions. So it's many, many years ago. Because it's very bad when someone is corrupt. Because even your children that you have, no one will trust them. Just like I've said, when I saw the son of that one of the men in my village, very rich guy, they are supporting Uhuru Kenyatta and Ruto. I was like, wait a minute. This is something you can't. His son was called Guyai. If you ever listen to this, you know, I think people should always put in their heads and remember that corruption is bad. Do not be corrupt. Because when you are corrupt, you don't only spoil your name, but you spoil the name of the generations to come. Your children, grandchildren, anybody who has your name around you is corrupt, because that's the first impression somebody gets. Just like I'm telling the story of the son of these men in my village. That the first thing I saw him, I was like, oh, he can't be telling the truth. He's dead, lied, and stole the money from my village, from our people, our roads. And he was very close, like this, to Moi, very close like this. Those are some of the people who had very big pieces of lands that they could grow bangi those years. Those years it was strict. But helicopters used to be as small kids. We could run from home to go and see helicopter. Because for us in the village, it was a big thing. Helicopters used to go to land in our village in a certain land. But we could not go so close. And of course, that kind of helicopters, they were harvesting bangi. And guess what happened? In the same family, one of the men there, he got a mzungu. This is a story I'm telling a little bit from the song. He got a mzungu friend, a friend, and they decided to be doing business together in the Netherlands. So he could be coming and, the bangi would be going nicely to Netherlands. And the first deal went right. The second deal went right. The third deal, this guy from my village, he flew all the way to Netherlands. I think he was supposed to go and get some money. Guess what? When he arrived at the airport in Amsterdam, the person he's been doing business with for the 2 times before was a big police officer in the Netherlands. He was in full gears with all his colleagues. That man was taken to jail. He spent quite many years. I remember in my village, it was a huge story when that man was spending the time in Netherlands in jail because of transporting a lot of bangis and stuff like that. I'm just saying that this corruption in Kenya has been going on for many years. And that's why people who've been surrounded by Moi, they all have some corruption in them, because that's the system they know. They don't know anything else. That's why you see even someone like Ruto today, he don't know anything else apart from corruption. He just know deals, money stealing here, deals. He don't care about the real people of Kenya. No. It's just him and his family and his close friends. That's it. You, the rest, you're nobody. Anyway, let's continue on with the song. The song continues to say that if you see them coming to your home, I've read that, blow the whistle, ask them where they were for all those years. If they pass, look up to God and tell God, God, here they are. The song says, Wanjiko, hey Kenyan people, have courage. If you see them, don't spare them. Blow the whistle. God of the poor is still alive. We are still the ones to judge. If you see them, blow the whistle. So this amazing song, how old is this song? I think it's, let me see if I've written somewhere. I think it's a few years old. An amazing song. a very, very beautiful song for our Kenyan people. That, yes, God of the poor is still alive. God is with our Kenyan people. We should not give up. Let us continue blowing the whistle. Let us continue, for example, with what Butere girls are doing. That poem they are telling is the truth. No lies. Those of you who've listened to it, you can hear they are telling this man who is the President Ruto. He knows all the names of the roads. He knows the names of the markets. He marks them in the head to come and fool you, the Kenyans. So that when he mentions those names, I remember for us in the Central, when he could come during 2022, he could tell us all the names. Hey, these names, these. We were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's going to do great things. Just like he's been doing everywhere else in the world, in Kenya. He goes mentioning names. Right now, Ruto should know that Kenyans know him. He should look at the tricks of mentioning roads, tricks of mentioning markets. He should forget them, because nobody will buy them. That should be a story that is gone. He's been doing it. He's been fooling us. But he will not do it anymore, because the time for blowing the whistle has come. The time for people to tell him, hey, listen, Ruto, you've lied enough. Whistleblowing time is now. And that's why you could see they were trying to stop the Butere girls. But Ruto should know it's already too late. The Butere girls are international. Here in Sweden, we are listening to them every day. In Germany, in all the countries around the world. Kenyans are everywhere. We already know what is in those poems. We already have it all. So we don't understand why they're trying to stop them. They're already international. Ruto should know that we are in 2025. The internet is not like Moi era. Moi could hide things so that they only stick in Kenya. Now people have telephones. Everything that happens is just a matter of seconds, and it's around the world. There's nothing more to hide. So trying to stop the Butere girls and tear gassing them has made even things more worse. And if it's true that there were some girls who are missing, Ruto should know the world is watching. Our Kenyan people, let's continue blowing the whistle. It's the right thing. It's a good thing to do. When we see things are not going right, don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Continue blowing the whistle. Wherever you are as a Kenyan, even for us Kenyans who are in the diaspora, let us continue to blow the whistle. Let us continue to let the world know what's going on back home in Kenya. How our Kenyan people are being oppressed. How the freedom of speech in Kenya has been taken away. Let the world know that the kidnappings in Kenya are still going on. We saw last night, for example, what they did to Cleophas Malala, the writer of the poem for the Butere girls. They took him around and round in bushes in the middle of the night, rocked him in a boot of the car. They are discussing if to eliminate him or not, or what they were discussing. The whole world need to know that kidnapping in Kenya is still going on. And when people are shouting and saying Ruto must go, it is he must go. The country is not safe. It's coming to a time when the tourists don't want to come to Kenya anymore because they don't want to be kidnapped. It's high time for us Kenyans to continue blowing the whistle. Back home, continue blowing the whistle. We in the diaspora will continue blowing the whistle because Kenya is our motherland and we love our country. as I always tell, the name of the writer and the name of the name of the song and the writer. I always tell the names. The name of the song is called Wamona Huhafirigi. It's by our great Muigeiwa Joroge. Those of us in Kenya who knows him, great artist. He writes amazing, beautiful songs. Those who've never listened to the song and you know the Kikuyu language, please go listen to it. Wamona Huhafirigi, an amazing, beautiful song. And for those that have liked my scrutinizing and analyzing of this song, please don't forget to touch the subscribe button to support me. I'll appreciate. You can comment, share, and like as well. I'll really appreciate. And I'll be back again on Monday. And let's continue with this journey. So I wish you a nice day tomorrow. And remember, I have a playlist. My playlist, if you press on songs message, you'll find all the songs that I have scrutinized and analyzed there. If you like political songs, you'll find them there. If you like Mugithi songs, you'll find them there. If you like gospel songs, you'll find them there. Let's continue with this journey. Thank you and bye-bye.